I got the name Warhorse because I train horses and I've ridden horses all my life. So my manager, he's the one who actually came up with the name Warhorse, and that's how I got my name. I definitely think that training horses and competing helped me prepare mentally and physically for martial arts, because I worked with a lot of really difficult horses. I've been kicked, I've been thrown off more times than I can count. So I'm used to a lot more probably damage from horses than people. I started in martial arts when I started doing some cardio kickboxing when I was about 12, and then I did Taekwondo when I was 16, got a black belt in Taekwondo, started Muay Thai when I was 22, and Jiu-Jitsu, so it's been about 16 years, something like that, but yeah, a long time. The worst I've been hurt in a fight, just kind of a cut, probably, bruises. In an actual fight, I haven't actually been hurt very bad at all. When I accepted the fight, what was going through my head was I wanted to see how good I was. I wasn't really too worried about everybody, like I was the underdog. Everybody thought I was going to lose. I just went in there to fight hard and see how good I was. So I thought I would win. I wasn't sure, but I was going to give it my all. Coming back to straight kickboxing it's been really great, actually, because it was what I loved first. I didn't ever really want to do MMA until I got talked into it, but I've always loved striking more, so it's been really, really great. I know that my opponent has fought in Waco a lot. She's won a lot of kickboxing belts. She's had a lot of experience, and she has a lot of volume. So if anything, I would be thinking about her volume. But I'm not too concerned about, I don't think she's fought anybody that's as mean as me. I don't think she's fought anybody with the power that I have or the volume, so I'm not too worried. The fans can expect to see an aggressive, violent fight, and I hope to have a finish.
In Edmond, Oklahoma, Killer Bees Kickboxing has become a destination spot for elite strikers throughout the state of Oklahoma and beyond. From elite amateur champions like Montaigne the Monster McFarland to seasoned professionals like Eddie the Sandman Sims and Brandon Phillips, some might say it all started with the Warhorse.
I've trained Christina for 12 to 13 years. Christina destroyed her opponent in her first fight. First time competing in kickboxing. I think she made the girl stop after like the second or third round. The girl just quit in the corner, I believe, is what happened. It was either her first or second fight that happened, and yeah. And the girl flew all the way from Canada, so it was a tough one. Christina was undefeated in kickboxing and Muay Thai in her amateur career. I think she had 4, maybe 3. She had every belt that you could get in kickboxing and Muay Thai in Oklahoma. The USMTA, TBA, and possibly 1 or 2 other. Whatever was available, whatever was there, she took it. So I wasn't worried with Christina's fight with Heather, just because Christina had a lot more tools and weapons to use than Heather did. Heather was mainly just a boxer, where Christina has kicks, knees, elbows, clinch, and her jiu-jitsu as well. So I wasn't concerned about it. I thought Christina would be too much for her to handle, for sure. Christina's evolved in her fight IQ over the many years. She's definitely a lot more methodical. A lot of times in the amateurs, she could win on pure aggression and just her intensity. But now she's definitely more methodical and intelligent in the way she fights. Not that she wasn't before, but she definitely has a higher fight IQ through all the years, and all the tough opponents that she's had helped develop her fight IQ, which she has now. On May 31st, I believe Christina will finish her opponent. I think she will win either KO, ref stoppage, or just like her very first fight, and the girl's not going to come out of the corner in the second round. So it's going to be too much for her to handle.
I started martial arts training a little later in life. I was 28. It was probably like 2011, and I had just finished grad school, and unfortunately, grad school really took a toll on me. I was like super unhealthy, and my doctor told me that I probably needed to lose some weight and get off the energy drinks. So I at first made my way to like normal gyms, and I just found like I was just so bored running on a treadmill and like staring at those TV screens, and I don't know what really made me think about it, but I just thought, man, I'd like to try a boxing gym. So I ended up at this boxing gym, and at first it was just training and learning how to hit and punch, and I just loved every second of it. And I don't know, I'd say about a year, maybe a year and a half, my coach said, hey, do you want to fight? And I had my first fight, and it was just super exciting and fun. And I actually lost the first time I was in there. I guess it was technically a smoker, and I didn't get the win, but I just remember feeling really empowered by my ability to challenge myself and kind of show up for myself and everything that I put into it. And that's kind of what got me started. So I just, I kept going and eventually transitioned into kickboxing. And I've been training and fighting ever since. What does my pro debut mean to me? Well, honestly, for me, I think it's just the next chapter of my career and an opportunity to show my evolution as a fighter. I feel like I've spent my amateur career just really trying to challenge myself in every possible way. I've taken all the hard fights, never turned down an opponent, traveled all over the world. I've had wins and losses, and I've really had to dig myself out of situations where I was losing the fight, or maybe situations where I was winning the fight. And I just feel like you get to a place where you just know you're ready for that next level. And I think that this is my time. I think that I'm ready for the challenge, and I can't wait for the opportunity to show that I am ready for this hard opponent. I know I'm taking a pro debut against somebody that has quite a bit of pro experience, but I don't feel any hesitancy in that. I feel like as far as this being an important opportunity for me and for my wife, I just think that we've invested a lot into our career and our journey. And on May 31st, it's all going to kind of come to a head, and people will understand why this has been such a passion for me for so long. Finding opponents as a female in the United States has always been really challenging. I think that tournaments have kind of been primarily the way to go. Finding kickboxing tournaments and just being willing to travel and kind of pay the money for the competition. Local fights have just been, I guess, a blessing whenever they have come, because there are very few and far in between. This is probably what led me to Team USA, because when you go overseas, that's not an issue at all. So tournaments, when I compete in the World Championships, there's sometimes 16 girls, 18 girls in my bracket. And so you get the opportunity to get multiple fights. And that's how I've kind of racked up so many fights over my career, just because I've just been a tournament fighter. A lot of people don't value tournaments, but I feel like it's really helped me grow a lot as a fighter, just because you mentally, you just know that you have to show up, and whoever makes weight in your bracket, you're going to fight them. So it doesn't really give you a lot of opportunity to study and pick apart your opponents. And so you have to get in the ring, and you just have to feel them out and then make adjustments, and all to get the win and progress in the tournament to keep racking up those fights. And when you pay thousands of dollars to go over to Europe, your primary goal is to get as many fights as possible, and obviously to get on the podium. Here in the United States, I've fought a lot of the top girls in the throughout the area. I've won some, I've lost some. I feel like it has always been a challenge, and I've never really gone too long without fights, as long as I was willing to travel. I will say that when I first attempted to get my pro debut, though, that was a very hard experience. I did find very quickly that in the sport of kickboxing, there are not a lot of female 125ers in the United States competing. And so I started looking for my pro debut in January of 2024, and by July still had nothing, despite putting in for multiple fights. Then I broke my foot, so I was out for a few months dealing with that, and then I got the opportunity to fight for Husky Fat. So I am super appreciative and excited for May 31st.
Training at Wolves Den in St. Louis provides her the opportunity to train with high-level pros and amateurs in striking arts. Training with such high-level strikers keeps her sharp, waiting for the big opportunity to arrive.
So what's life like outside of fighting? Honestly, me and my wife both fight, and we both fight at a very high level, and our life is pretty structured and centered around our goals. We both do work full-time jobs. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, so I've been working with adolescents in a variety of capacities for the past 20 years. Most recently, I was a supervisor of a crisis program working with homeless youth for a long time, and I love my job, and I definitely put a lot of energy and heart into what I do, but that's my 9 to 5, and outside of that, I mean, my life is pretty structured around my fights and training. I train 6 days a week. I train morning and night. I consistently am, working strength and conditioning and getting my road work in and going to classes, even outside of fight camps. I'm consistent with all of those things, just knowing that this is the time, because there will come a point when when fighting is no longer an option. So I just have kind of lived for the past 12 years just knowing that I want to put everything I have into it, so that when it's all done, I'll know that I have given my all and done all the things that I wanted to do. Honestly, I think that this fight is really one for the fans of martial arts, of kickboxing. I think you have two women who have dedicated their life to the sport, who have years and years of experience of being in the ring and obviously love what they do. So I think that me and Christina are going to have some fun in there. I think it's going to be a hard fight. We're probably going to war. And if it goes all 5 rounds, then you're going to see probably pieces of a technical battle, but also just moments of just absolute war. I know that I tend to be a pretty technical fighter. I like to move. I like to use angles and things like that. But also I have I have quite a few boxing fights. And if you could dig into my boxing fights a little bit, you'll know that I'm not afraid to bite down and meet in the middle either. So I've spent some time watching my opponent's fights, and I know that she's not afraid to do those things either. So I really think this is going to be a good one for the fans, and it's going to be super exciting. And the ladies always bring it. So hopefully everybody comes out and cheers us on.
Two elite fighters coming from two completely different backgrounds are set to collide on May 31st when Husky Fat presents Summertime Vibes. Kicking It in Bricktown takes place. Warhorse, who used her limited amateur experience to launch her into a career in combat sports that has put her at the forefront of women's combat sports, having headlined for such organizations as Bellator and Invicta. The Heathen, who has a decorated amateur career including winning the IKF U.S. title, 2 Waco national titles, to medaling at the Waco World Championship multiple times internationally. Both of these fighters have taken a different path, but it all heads to the same place, May 31st at the Oklahoma City Convention Center in Bricktown, Oklahoma. A belt is on the line, but more importantly, a legacy. Christina Warhorse Williams returns home to Oklahoma City to the highest level of violent striking as she takes on her toughest opponent to date, Liz the Heathen Helton. A match with not only title implications, but also international implications as well. Come May 31st, all eyes nationally and internationally will be on OKC as these two elite strikers come together to see who's the baddest in the flyweight division. Tickets on sale now at huskyfat.com.
Husky Fat Promotions.